Okay, guys, I cut my hair. What is this, guys? I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, there's a lot of split ends. Let me cut it. And then I just kind of, like, did it without using a mirror and just using, like, these scissors. So... So, yeah, guys. That's my hair. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. I made some kanji too. Um and I was told to make it because someone that I'm seeing is sick, and she was like, "Oh, can you please make me this and I'll come pick it up after work." And I'm like, "Okay." Okay. And she's like, don't put any seasoning in it, don't put anything in it. I'm like, "Okay, so let me try this." This looks to be the right consistency. Like, this, like, I've had kanji only once before, but it looks to be the right way to make it. So like I said, it's really good. You know what? This is where this shit comes in handy. I'm supposed to be reading right now. But do you guys really listen to the readings? Let's be real. Do you really listen to the readings, or are you just watching because you have a parasocial relationship with me? Which is fine, by the way. I have a Discord. You guys can just message me on Discord. I mean, if you're gonna send me AI-generated porn of me, like, don't. But, like, other than that, feel free to message me on Discord. We got this Saison Goya. I'm solving racism with this, by the way. I'm actually solving racism with this. Ooh. This might be too much. And I also realized that MSG is one of the ingredients in this packet, so I don't need to add more MSG to it, so that's my bad. To the person commenting that's like, oh, MSG is like horrible and addictive for you. Ooh, mama, look at that. Look at that. Love me some red 40. Ooh, mama. Mamacita. Let's go. Okay, I just solved racism, guys. I solved racism. Put this in your kanji. Right now. I'm telling y'all. Ooh, mamacita. That's good. That is good. That is good, guys. Okay. Anna Karenina. We are about to finish part 2, which I'm excited about. Like, we got through this really fast, so this is, like, my goal. How pathetic is that? My goal in life, not to, like, get married or, like, have children or have a career, is to finish this book. Honestly. All right, let's go. Anna Karenina, part 2, chapter 35. The prince imparted his good spirits to his household, his friends, and even to his German landlord. On returning from the spring with Kitty, the prince, who had invited the colonel, Mary Evgenievna, and Varenka to come and take coffee, had a table and chairs brought out into the garden under a chestnut tree, and breakfast laid there. The landlord and the servants brightened up under his influence. They knew his generosity. In a quarter of an hour, the sick Hamburg doctor, who lived upstairs, was looking with envy from his window at the merry party of healthy Russians gathered under the chestnut tree. Beneath the trembling shadow circles of the leaves, around a table covered with white cloth and set out with coffee pot, bread, butter, cheese, and cold game, sat the princess in a cap with lilac ribbons, handing out cups of coffee and sandwiches. At the other end sat the prince, making a substantial meal and talking loudly and merrily. He spread out his purchases before him, carved caskets, spillikins, and paper knives of all kinds, of which he had bought quantities at all the different watering places, and he gave them away to everybody, including Lishkin, the maid, and the landlord, whom he joked in his funny broken German, assuring him that not the waters had cured Kitty, but his excellent food, especially his plum soup. The princess laughed at her husband for his Russian ways, but was livelier and brighter than she had ever been during her stay at the watering place. The colonel smiled, as he always did at the prince's jokes. But with regard to Europe, which he thought he had carefully studied, he sided with the princess. The good-natured Mary Evgenievna shook with laughter at everything the amusing prince said, and even Varenka, in a way new to Kitty, succumbed to the feeble but infectious laughter inspired by the prince's jokes. Let's turn that off. Is Discord open? Okay, I guess Discord, whatever. All this cheered Kitty up, but she could not help being troubled. She could not solve the problem unconsciously set by her father's jocular view of her friends and of the life she had begun to love so much. To this problem she added the change in her relations with the Petrovs, which had been so clearly and unpleasantly demonstrated that morning. Everybody was merry, but Kitty could not be merry, and this troubled her still more. She felt almost as if she used to feel when she was a child. She was locked up in a room for punishment and heard her sister's merry laughter. "Now, why have you brought that mass of things?" asked the princess, smiling and passing her husband a cup of coffee. "One goes out walking, comes to a shop, and they ask one to buy something. It's Echlau, Excellen, Duschlau. Well, by the time they get to Duschlau, I can't resist, and 10 thalers are gone." "That's all because you are bored." "Okay, overconsumption king, okay," said the princess. "Bored, of course I am. The time hangs so heavy, my dear, that one does not know what to do with oneself."
"How can you be—"
I don't know what voice I gave Mary Evgenevia, sorry.
"How can you be bored, Prince? There is so much that is interesting in Germany now," said Mary Evgenevia.
"But I know all your interesting things, plum soup and pea sausages. I know them. I know it all." "No, say what you please, Prince. Their institutions are interesting," said the cardinal. "What is there interesting about them? They are as self-satisfied as brass farthings. They've conquered everybody. Now tell me, what am I to be pleased about? I have not conquered anybody, but here I have to take off my own boots and even put them on outside the door myself. In the morning I have to get up and dress up at once to go down to the dining room to drink bad tea. Is it like that at home? There one wakes up without any hurry, gets a bit cross about something, grumbles a bit, comes well to one's senses, and thinks everything well over without hurrying." "But time is money. Don't forget that," said the colonel. "It all depends on what time. There are times when one would give a whole month for a shilling, and there are times when you would not give half an hour at any price. Is that not so, Kitty? Why are you so glum?"
"I'm all right."
"Where are you off to? Stay a little longer," he said, turning to Varenka.
"I must get home,"
said Varenka, rising and bursting into another fit of laughter. When she had recovered, what's so funny about that? Okay, whatever. She took leave and went into the house for her hat. Kitty followed her. Even Varenka seemed different now. She was not worse, but different from what Kitty previously had imagined her to be.
"Oh dear, I have not laughed so much for a long time," said Varenka, collecting her sunshade and bag. "What a dear your papa is."
Kitty remained silent. "When shall we meet?" asked Varenka.
"Mama was going to call on the Petrovs. Will you be there?"
asked Kitty, trying to sound Varenka. Yo, they're sounding each other. That's kind of freaky. Ooh.
"I will," answered Varenka. "They are preparing to leave, so I have promised to help them pack." "Then I'll come too."
"No, why should you?"
"Why not? Why not? Why not?"
asked Kitty with wide open eyes and holding Varenka's sunshade to prevent her going.
"No, wait a bit. Tell me why not."
"Oh, nothing. Only your papa has returned, and they don't feel at ease with you."
No. Tell me why you do not wish me to be often at the Petrovs. You don't, do you? Why?"
"I have not said so," replied Varenka quietly.
"No, please tell me."
"Shall I tell you everything?" This is some doomed Yuri, guys, said Varenka.
Everything,
said Kitty. "There is nothing special to tell. Only Petrov used to want to leave sooner, but does now not want to go," said Varenka, smiling.
"Well, go on."
Kitty hurried her, looking at her with a frown. "Well, I don't know why, but Anna Pavlovna says he does not want to go, because you are here. Of course that was tactless, but they quarreled about you, and you know how excitable such invalids are." Kitty frowned yet more and remained silent, and only Varenka spoke, trying to soften and soothe Kitty, and foreseeing an approaching explosion of tears or words, but knew not which. "So it is better for you not to go, and you understand, don't be hurt."
It serves me right.
Kitty began hurriedly, snatching Varenka's sunshade out of her hands and looking past her friend's eyes. Varenka felt like smiling at her friend's childish anger, but feared to offend her. "Why? Serves you right? I don't understand," she said.
"It serves me right because it was all pretense, all invented and not heartfelt. What business had I with a stranger? So it comes about that I am the cause of a quarrel and have been doing what nobody asked me to do, because it is all pretense, and pretense."
But what motive had you for pretending? Said Varenka softly.
Oh, how stupid, how stupid! There was no need at all. It was all pretense,
Kitty said, opening and shutting the sunshade. But with what object?
To appear better than others to myself and to God, to deceive everybody. No, I shall not give in to that again. Let me be bad, but at any rate not false, not a humbug.
But who is a humbug? Asked Varenka reproachfully. You speak as if... But Kitty was in one of her fits of passion. She would not let Varenka finish.
I am not talking about you, not at all. You are perfection. Yes, you are all perfection. But how can I help if I am bad? It would not have happened if I were not bad. So let me be what I am, but not pretend. What is Anna Pavlovna to me? Let them live as they like, and I will live as I like. I cannot be different, and it's all not the thing. Not the thing.
But what is not the thing? Said Varenka, quite perplexed.
It's all not the thing. I can't live except by my own heart, but you live by principles. I have loved you quite simply, but you, I expect only in order to save me, to teach me.
You are unjust, said Varenka.
But I am not talking about others, only myself.
Kitty, came her mother's voice. Come here and show Papa your corals. Kitty took from the table a little box which held the corals, and with a proud look, without having made it up to her friend, went to where her mother was. What's the matter? Why are you so red? Asked both her mother and father together.
Nothing, she said. I'll come back in a minute,
and ran away.
She is still here,
thought Kitty.
What shall I say to her? Oh dear, what have I done? What have I said? Why have I offended her? What am I to do? What shall I say to her?
Thought Kitty, and stopped at the door. Varenka, with her hat on, sat at the table, examining the spring of her sunshade, which Kitty had broken. She looked up.
Varenka, forgive me,
whispered Kitty, coming close to her.
I don't remember what I said.
Really, I do not wish to distress you, said Varenka with a smile. Peace was made, but with her father's return, the world in which she had been living completely changed for Kitty. She did not renounce all she had learned, but realized she had deceived herself when thinking that she could be what she wished to be. It was as if she had recovered consciousness. She felt the difficulty of remaining without hypocrisy or boastfulness on the level to which she had wished to rise. Moreover, she felt the oppressiveness of that world of sorrow, sickness, and death which she was living. The efforts she had been making to love it now seemed tormenting, and she longed to get away quickly to the fresh air, back to Russia, to Ergashovo, whereas knew from a letter her sister Dolly had moved with the children. But her affection for Varenka was not weakened. When taking leave of her, Kitty tried to persuade her to come and stay with them in Russia. I will come when you are married, said Varenka.
I shall never marry.
Well then, I shall never come.
Then I will marry for that purpose only. Mind now, don't forget your promise.
This is Yuri! Oh my god. The doctor's prediction was justified. Kitty returned to Russia quite cured. She was not as careless and light-hearted as before, but she was at peace. Her old Moscow sorrows were no more than a memory. Part 3! Look at that! Look at that. We still got a lot of the book left, but yeah. I'm gonna watch YouTube and finish eating this congee. Let's see. Is it still good? Okay. Whatever's in this is real good. So, yeah. That was Anna Karenina. Now we're on to part 3, so I'm pretty excited, guys. Oh my god, and my hair is looking crazy as ever. We gotta go bald. We gotta go bald.